We are going to begin with some definition, please, in order to help the public comprehension. What's the meaning of intelligent robots?
Definition of an intelligent robot that, well, the robot that has the ability of memories and learning, and the robot they need to use their own experience.
Okay, and social robots?
Social robot is the robot can have social relationships with others, other people.
And the newest science is Android science? Is newest? What's the meaning of Android science?
Android science is to understand what is humans by building Android.
Next, about your presence in Peru. Which are your main objectives in Peru here?
Is to advertise the Japanese robot technologies and to have good relationships between Japan and Peru in robotics areas.
Okay, are there some projects with some universities in Peru?
Not particular university, but general.
Right. The robots are machines practically, but why humanoid?
Well, I eventually they selected the area of a humanoid studied, but basically the human brain is quite sensitive to the human-like the stuff, and very sensitive to the humans, right? Therefore, the people interested in human-like robots and androids. Therefore, I'm studying the humanoids and androids.
Which are the open problems in this area? Open problems.
Open problem, many. Almost all things. For example, intelligence, or for example, how we can realize the human-like conversations, how we can realize human-like behaviors. We can achieve that kind of things to some extent, but that is not sufficient yet.
In order to become a specialist in robotics, what areas of the science are fundamentals?
Well, as I said, this is same as a human study. In order to build a better robot, we have to have the good knowledge about the human itself, right? And we have to study the computer science, mechanical engineering, and cognitive science, and philosophies. So everything's very fundamental.
Where are the most important universities in the world?
In the world?
Yeah, in this kind of specialty.
Well, I hope Japanese university is taking the initiative in these areas, like Tokyo University and Osaka University.
In comparison with the United States universities?
United States, they are not interested in the humanoids and androids. Their purpose is to develop more military applications, military robots. But of course, they also have a good technologies about the sensors and the actuators. But and if they consider the humanoids and androids, and obviously the Japanese university and research institute in Japan are taking an initiative in the world.
Are there cultural differences in attitudes towards robots in Japan or Mexico or Peru? Do you know something? Cultural attitudes about the robot. The people.
Well, I think I'm not sure. I'm coming from making sure that. Right, but probably the people they can enjoy with the robots, I guess.
How would we use the robots in education?
Yeah, actually, we can use a very simple robot for the education. The student can have some experience to assemble the robot and develop the computer program for controlling that, right? And that kind of robot will be a good, the educational tools. And then the student can have interest in engineering.
It's important for our public, Peruvian public, to know about laboratories in the developed countries.
Sorry? What?
Developed countries like Japan or United States.
Yeah.
How many persons work in your lab?
my lab is quite big. It's unusually, they are big, and maybe the four times of other, standard laboratories. Actually, the 90 people are working in my lab, and that is huge.
All of them are Japanese?
No, I don't remember how many deployments I have, but more than 20, and coming from 13 countries, including Peru students.
How is the financial support in your lab, public or private?
Mainly the government, the public, but I'm also getting some of the grant from the companies.
Yeah. Could you tell us how much is your budget? Approximately.
Roughly speaking, around the 4 or 5 million US dollars every year.
From research to innovation.
Mm-hmm.
It's important for us in order to translate from research to business.
Is that quite, yes.
Is there a relation with private companies in your
Actually,
lab?
for example, this one, I have started this company in Bristol with Yamato-san's in 2000, and that the purpose of that company was the technology transfers. I'm building my purpose is to to study the fundamental things in robotics, but it's a kind of Apollo project, right? But at the same time, we can have many byproducts, right? And we can transfer the byproducts or the technology to the commercial products.
How is your opinion about the entrepreneur?
Entrepreneur.
Okay. Yeah, it's quite important.
It's important,
right? Always the new market coming from the small companies, right? Small company, spin-off companies, the small venture companies can develop their new market.
Could you explain us about the DVS, distributed vision system?
Mm-hmm.
What is the meaning of this?
It's sensor network. Right,
Yeah,
both the robot and the human need to have a sensor network, right? And for example, in a bank, we are using many cameras, and the camera is tracking our behaviors, right? That is a kind of a monitoring system. But at the same time, right, if a robot access to that information, the robot they can have a kind of a human level perception. So, but distributed vision is the many camera system.
How big is the memory in this system, for example?
64 megabytes for this robot. This is small, but we can improve more and more. Right? Now, computer is getting smaller. And
could you tell us some words for children or young people who are interested in study robotics?
Robotics.
Your message.
I have your message.
The robot
Nice.
is fun, and once you study the robot, the robot is quite interdisciplinary. Robot, in order to build a robot, we have to study many things. The how the human moves, and how the motor moves, and how we can, how to design, right? So that once you study the robot, you can have the interest in various areas, then you can find your ability.
Change the question. Why do you always dress black?
Because my name is black. No. My name is ISHIGURO. ISHIGURO means a black stone. But I'm always thinking about what is human identities. What is a human identities? Suppose that someone is walking from there, right? First we look at the color, right? Then face. So name is not, after the talking, we can know the name, right? But you never change your name.
Yeah.
But you change your clothes. It's quite strange. Obviously, the clothes has your identity, right? Therefore, I have selected the black.
How is your normal day?
Normal day.
Yeah, I think it's.
This is my normal day.
Very busy. Maybe
Yes.
you work 18 hours per day, or
I'm enjoying my job very much.
how many hours do you usually work?
I have no idea. Well, in this trip, I'm working more than
Normally,
20 hours.
You work long hours, he's asking you. Maybe you work long hours.
I
a day.
never distinguish the vacation and jobs, right?
Okay.
And even if I play something, well, play soccer
Okay.
and the baseball, that is a chance to get the new ideas.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.